Hello everybody, my name is Big Rich NZ, and welcome to the Richcraft S1E1. Alright, here we are on the Richcraft server. Now, while this is in fact episode 1, as you can see in the background there, we've done quite a bit of building already. We got the 1.13 update, and we were too excited to get into it before we started recording. So we've done a little bit of work here. So on this server, we've got a bunch of friends, and we're just building and fighting mobs and all that kind of thing, having fun. So we thought we'd make a video of, or series of videos of what we're doing, and hopefully you guys can enjoy what we're doing and see how we build things. We like to do a bit of redstone. Pretty keen to play with the new mechanics in 1.13 and just enjoy the game. So let me show you around what we've done so far, and then we'll get on with the game. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to have a look at over here is this big structure here, which is my starter house, which I'm building. So obviously not finished. Wanting to fill these windows in here with some bone blocks, but unfortunately we don't have access to loads of bones at the moment, so they'll just stay empty for a while. And if you're looking at this game thinking, man, there's heaps of lag on it, sadly my computer is about 6 or 7 years old, and while I'm playing Minecraft and not recording, it plays quite happily, but trying to record with OBS at the same time does create a bit of lag. So there's nothing much going on here at the moment. I've just got a few furnaces and chests and stuff. I sort of plan to make this part sort of the basement area, and I'll do all my smelting and crafting down here. The next floor up, maybe have a bit of decoration, some beds and stuff, and the top floor will be storage. But what I do have going on here, so this is part of the new game, so we go down this ladder. Now the reason why I've built this, well, first of all I wanted kelp, but because we didn't have access to wool immediately, I don't have a bed, and the what do they call them? What do you call those flying things? Phantoms. Phantoms. That's it. The phantoms keep attacking me at night. So while we're busy at night, getting attacked by phantoms, we just go underground to protect ourselves. And I built this. So if we go down the bottom here, this is a kelp farm. This is just a basic manual one. So we open the trapdoors here. It gives us access to kelp. The kelp sort of grows up over time, and sort of, you know, whenever I'm in the middle of something or got nothing better to do, I'll come over here. You just open all the trapdoors like so, and then right click on the kelp, left click on the kelp, and it breaks the kelp, and the kelp, because of the new game mechanics, will then float to the surface, and then you close all the trapdoors. The trapdoors are just there to hold the water back and give you access to it. Man, the lag's big. So we go back up the top here. I forget how many blocks high I made it, but it doesn't really matter. You can make it as big or small as you like. Yeah, and so the kelp comes up here, and the water pushes across to the side. And at this stage, you just run across and pick it up. Ultimately, I'll have some hoppers along there, which will go to a collection chest, and then I'll automate it at some time too. So I might put an observer down the bottom there, so when one of the kelp gets a certain height, it'll fire off some pistons. Or I could put it on a hopper timer, and it will fire off some pistons maybe every couple of minutes and slowly generate kelp. And of course, I plan to expand as well. So maybe have, at the moment we've got one row of 8, so maybe have sort of 9 or 10 rows sort of spaced apart and generating heaps of kelp. But that's the kelp farm, and we'll go back up the top. Right, so we have Jet Boy's house. So he's playing with the new textures here, like the stripped birch logs, looks quite nice. He's also got some micro sheep, chicken and cow farms in there, so it's quite noisy, so we won't get too close. And over on this side here, you see Artemis is just starting to build her house, but she's got a little way to go yet. And we go around the side here. So when we first when we first started playing, one of the first things you do, of course, is cut down a bunch of wood. Then you seek shelter for the night. So we found this area here, and up here there's a nice high mountain, and my plans for this mountain is to build a castle on top of that at some stage. But before we got that far, we dug our way into here and made ourselves like a little starter hole in the ground, I guess you'd call it, with a few items there. Just since it's expanded and we use it to mine now. I've been playing with the new mechanics of this, so we've got down, just jump down there. This is a water stream up, and over here there's another water stream up. So I'll go down the bottom. Sorry, before we do that, so the idea, this is an item elevator. The idea is that eventually we'll make this a large sort of storage area. So in the old days you'd use something like a minecart chest and some minecart rails, and that would deliver your items up, or you might make an item elevator if you had more resources. But now we can use water streams. So we'll just jump down here. There we go. Express elevator down. So this is the first mining area we got to, and just made a basic branch mine going up in all directions. But over here, so this is where we come down, drop straight down there, and then over here we have some soul sand at the bottom, causing a bubble stream going up. So this is the elevator up. So we just take the express elevator up. It goes up pretty quick, much better than running or jumping up on stairs. Now to make this, of course, you need water source blocks all the way to the top, and the easiest way to do that was to actually just put a bucket of water at the top here, and then run down the bottom and plant kelp, and then build kelp all the way up, and kelp will turn a running water block into a source block. So you build kelp all the way to the top, and then you go down the bottom again and break the kelp and put in your soul sand, and hey presto, elevator up. So around on this side we have built ourselves an item elevator up. So it all looks a bit ugly at the moment. We'll pretty it up later on, but you just throw your items in there, and we've got a sort of simple little timing circuit. So the items go from your chest into a hopper, into a dropper, and the dropper just fires stuff one by one into the water stream, and it goes to the top. And at the top you've got hoppers there which will collect the items, and then gets stored in the chest. There's no item sorter at this stage, but there probably will be eventually. And we can you just carry on. So the idea is, like, normally your inventory fills up and you have to go to the surface again, but now your inventory fills up, you just throw everything in there, and you come out here and you carry on mining. So there we go. Of course we've got some obsidian and lava and stuff down here as well. Alright, here we are at the base of what will soon be our community enchanting area. So whenever you're going to build something in Minecraft, like an enchanting area, well, yes, you can just build something plain and boring. It's always good to try and make it look really good. So that's what we're going to try and do here. So you can see the inside area there, that's where the enchanting area is going to be. But we're going to make it into a mage tower. I mean, it's an enchanting table, so why not? So that's what we're going to do today. So follow on and we'll get into it. So you can see I've used oak wood blocks up there, but that's not going to be final. We'll probably just put bone blocks, I think, on there. They'll look nice. Fortunately, we don't have access to a skeleton spawner. Well, that is pretty bad at the moment. So we're just using oak wood for starters, and then once we get a skeleton spawner up and running, then we'll replace it all with bone blocks. Right, see if I can do this without killing myself. See, we want dark oak. Yeah. Professional Minecrafter in action. Something like that. Same over there. Can I reach over there? Yep. Across the top there. Oops. Oh, that wasn't very clever. Forgot to push shift. Let's just give that another go. Of course, the leg's not helping up. Back up the top. Yeah, so this ladder column probably won't stay here either, but it's just provided me access to the top of the tower at this stage, so I can get up here and do this kind of stuff. Oops. Lost that one. Oh, that was clever, I put it in the wrong place. Oh well. Break that. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Alright, so here we have the wizard tower, or the mage tower, actually completed. But
but we've obviously got some big openings here and big openings here, which I'd like to fill with bone blocks. If we look over here, I still have these big openings here on my house, so I'd also like to fill with bone blocks. I did think about using quartz as a substitute, so I've put some quartz up there, but it doesn't look right to me, so we're going to need some bone blocks. So to get enough bones for the job, we really need to find a skeleton spawner. And as it turns out, AmoBeast87 has been adventuring around and did find a skeleton spawner, which is over here, so we're going to head off and try and find it. He said he left a trail of wooden blocks, which leads to a column of dirt, which according to him is immediately above the skeleton spawner, and look over there in the distance there is a column of dirt. So, according to AmoBeast, directly under this column of dirt is a skelly spawner. So we're just going to dig down and try and find it. This just looks suspiciously like the side of a skeleton spawner. There it is in there. Marvellous. Of course he's taken all the stuff I get. Yep, well there's some more somewhere that might come in handy. Bit of coal, string, and chest of eyes. Useful items. Right. So here we are, we've found the skeleton spawner. Just come from that direction over there. Just make sure there's enough torches around to stop things from spawning. Look at all the iron he left behind. That stuff is like gold. Right. So here it is. Let's get on with the construction of the skeleton spawner. So there won't be anything special here with this. Well, at least I don't think so. So we just dig out 4 blocks from each side and clear an area, and I like to make it 2 blocks above and at least 2 blocks below, and that should give plenty of room for the skeletons to spawn in. And of course having a column of blocks on top so we don't get any spawns on top of the spawner and the skeletons get stuck. What I plan to do with this one is to dig down quite a way. I understand from the that so long as there's no skeletons within a 9 by 9 radius of this spawner here, then they will continue to spawn. So we're going to dig down about 9 blocks, so the ones that spawn will drop down. We'll have them sort of fed off by some water somewhere, and then either have them killed and collect their drops, or have them stacked up somewhere so we can kill them for the XP as well. So that is the plan with this one. Alright, here we are at the skeleton spawner mold farm. Not much of an entrance at the moment, just a bit of a hole in the ground. But we go in here. Of course we will pretty it up a lot later. So I've made a bubble column so you can make your way up here, and my preferred method of going down is having a puddle of water and you just step off the edge, and down we go. So here we are down at the spawner level. There's your upstream. Here's the spawning area, and the spawner you can just see is just up there. So that's I think I made it about 9 blocks from the bottom of the spawner to the water streams at the bottom. So the skeletons will spawn, fall down into the streams, slowly make their way down this way. We'll go around here, we can have another look. Come down this way and down through here into the stream. But there is a little bit of a problem, and that problem is I'm using a bubble stream. I'll just move away so we can't see me anymore. I'm using the soul sand bubble stream to get them up, which is high speed. It also means if anything drops in there, it'll make its way up there as well. The problem is, and I haven't quite worked out how to get around it yet, is when they reach this spot here, the water stops there. I had to put signs in there to stop the source blocks from flowing out, and the water stops there, which means that the skeletons, as they move along, will get to the spot and then they stop. Now I tried to put blue ice down, hoping that would push them through, but that doesn't seem to have worked. So at the moment, there's usually one sort of stuck about there, and it's not until some more spawn that they kind of push that one into the stream, and then he goes off, and then they sort of force their way through. So you have to have a bit of a think about that, work out a way of getting those skeletons to flow right through. But I mean, otherwise it still works fine. So they go up the bubble stream, across, and then drop down here, drop down about 22 blocks, I think I did it in the end. Land on the spot here, and you just kind of smack them once or twice, and then they all die, and the XP just flows on out. So I've got a hopper under here at the moment. The hopper just runs into this chest here, so that's where we collect our drops, but eventually it's going to go into these chests here. I'm in the process of making an item sorter. Here it is at the back here, but item sorters, much like anything that requires item transportation, takes a fair number of hoppers, and we're a little bit short on iron at the moment. If you've ever done anything with hoppers, you know that yeah, having lots of hoppers uses lots of iron. But this is the skeleton spawner so far. It's all functional, all operational. So they collect our drops in there, and I've just been transferring them sort of over here. In the meantime, we clear away some space, and we can now collect up some bone blocks and carry on finishing the starter house and the mage tower. Right, a bit of a change to the front here. So we've built this, I don't know, deck area out here, so we can park our boat over here. I'm actually going to change this area here still. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I've also built some steps leading up to the second floor and a door, so this will be the main entrance to the main part of the house. Nothing in here much at the moment, but I've also done a bit of work in the basement area and changed that quite a bit. So if we come down this way and through this door, we'll see that I've built myself an auto smelter. So there are only 6 furnaces operating in the auto smelter at the moment. I do plan to extend the auto smelter down that way, so we'll have 12 furnaces in here. It does take up quite a bit of room in my basement, and you can see I've had to drop it down one level to fit it all in. I'd forgotten exactly how many hoppers it requires to make the whole thing work. From memory, it takes if you use the hopper method, for every furnace you've got, it takes 6 hoppers. So there's quite a lot of hopperage in the back. And when I first started building it, again, I'd forgotten how many hoppers it uses, and kind of wish I'd done the rail cut method instead, which is noisy but uses a lot less hoppers. But it's alright. We plan on building ourselves an iron farm at some stage in the not too distant future, so we will hopefully have a good supply of iron. So at the moment, the way it works is we head on up here. At the second level, we've got 2 chests, which are here at the moment. So this one, items to be smelted go in there, and fuel goes in there, and it loads it into the auto smelter and smelts away. I don't have any hoppers on the bottom at this stage, being that we don't have a good working XP farm. I decided that I'd manually unload the furnaces so that I can get the XP from them. But of course we have just built the skeleton farm, so we will be able to get XP from that. But we'll just leave this as it is for now. I don't have tons of iron to put more hoppers on the bottom. But that's where we are in the basement area of the starter house. Well, that's all we have for this episode. As you can see, things are progressing nicely. I'm quite away in one episode. The next episode, I plan to be moving into this dark forest area over here, and then maybe turning that into an industrial area. I want to at some stage build a iron farm, and we'll put that over there somewhere, and also a sugarcane farm, so we get lots of maps and books and stuff. That'll go in there, and maybe a hostile mob farm on that area over there. Also on the top of this mountain, as we see here, this will be the area where I plan to build my castle. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to start that yet. I'm still gathering resources, blocks and things for that. but that'll be in future episodes. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, then please feel free to like or subscribe. That'd be great. Thank you and have a good day.